Stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Scheels has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Scheels. Scheels, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Deals are popping up all over the place this week at Fleet Farm. Like Farm Fresh Selects veggie and herb plants, 3 for $9.99. 1 cubic foot bags of Miracle-Gro Moisture Control Potting Mix are just $9.99. And ladies' Carhartt Tencel T-shirts are 25% off. From garden staples to workwear essentials, Fleet Farm has everything you need this season. Always at the best prices, guaranteed.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
NBA playoffs roll on tonight with the Knicks and Pistons coming up at 7:30 Eastern time from Detroit. Knicks up 3-2 in the series. Another 3-2 lead in the West. That's for the Nuggets. They'll play Game 6 in L.A. against the Clippers at 10 o'clock Eastern time. John Halliburton, the father of Tyrese Halliburton, will not be attending any Pacers games for the foreseeable future. ESPN reports that John Halliburton had a meeting with the Pacers front office, basically told them to stay away for a while. It was John Halliburton who was the one who taunted Giannis Antetokounmpo following the Pacers' Game 5 win against the Bucks on Tuesday. Update from the Kentucky Derby. Rodriguez has been scratched from the Run for the Roses because of a foot bruise. He was 12-1 favorite, was slated to start from the number 4 post. Scotty Scheffler has a share of the lead on the PGA Tour. First round of the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson in Texas. He's at 8 under par. Diamondbacks beat the Mets today 4-2. Cubs over the Pirates 8-3. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. It's Thursday on the Nate Brown Show. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. It is always a great day in South Dakota. Welcome across the state on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. A lot to do tonight. Some great guests tonight. We got a South Dakota State Jackrabbit who's going to try and make the NFL. We got him coming up. We're going to have some NBA coverage, some NBA discussion. Yes, we have to have that in our question of the day. It is Thursday Happy Hour. Rob Kagron's our guest host in the second hour. He's on his way getting prepped for the big show. Rob Kagron with Thursday Happy Hour in the second hour. It's our guest host live in studio. A lot to cover tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show streaming right now on YouTube. The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. It's The Nate Brown Show. Get us over the top with all those subscribers. We'd appreciate you watching us there. And on X right now, if you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, follow the show at Nate Brown Show, and you can watch the show live every afternoon right there at Nate Brown Show on X. Let's take a look at what's on tap tonight. Brought to you by the new Campfire Bar at Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron Boulevard. And at Mr. Liquor, Campfire Bar, 20 local brews from South Dakota on tap. That's the Campfire Bar. Patio open, weather's turning. May 1st, we got to like this. Head into the new Mr. Liquor and stop by the Campfire Bar right inside off Catron Boulevard. What's on tap? Adam Bach tonight, South Dakota State middle linebacker. This guy's been a big-time leader, an All-American. He gets an invite to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers mini camp. So it wasn't an undrafted free agent deal. People were kind of waiting on this. Hey, how about Adam Bach? This guy's got, great history. He's been an unbelievable player and some high regard there in Jackrabbit program. And he does get an invite. It's to the rookie mini camp. So Adam Bach's getting set to do that for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got Adam on tonight, coming up from Brookings. We'll talk to him about this journey, just getting started for the middle linebacker captain for the Jacks. We'll go out to L.A. tonight. Kevin Figures is on AM 570 Los Angeles. They cover the Lakers. Reaction from L.A. as they go down to the Wolves. Kevin Figures, AM 570 Los Angeles tonight. And out to the Twin Cities, Tom Schreier covering the series where the Wolves take down the Lakers last night. Tom Schreier, Wolves writer, zonecoverage.com. He's live from the Twin Cities. We got you covered across the board. Thursday happy hour, an hour away. Rob Kagron, our guest host. A lot to discuss with Rob as his New York Giants make the pick of Jackson Dart. And we know the rest of the story at quarterback in the draft after that. Rob Kagron coming in. Let's get you on if you want in. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067, the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Barron's Wilson text line, be a part of the show there. Text the show, your answers to the question of the day, the feedback. You can get in on the program that way. 605-720-1067. The app's open and ready. That's the Barron's Wilson text line. Okay, let's see here. I rarely start shows with NBA stuff. Rarely start shows with NBA stuff. It doesn't start getting interesting until, now. I mean, if you're honest, right? And what's interesting to me is the first week of the NBA playoffs was really highly rated. It was up big time from last year and the best ratings in 25 years of the first week of the NBA playoffs. And so I'm thinking, what has been attractive about the playoffs? I think there's pretty good games. You don't know who's going to necessarily win this whole thing. Some people may say OKC is really good. If you've really followed the NBA, Oklahoma State, that's the team. Or I should say Oklahoma City, that's the team. Cleveland, that's the team. Those aren't huge markets. Those aren't big rated. So that didn't bring in the ratings, those teams being really good. I think it was just really good games and the stars and the brands. The Lakers, for example, now they're out. We'll see how this goes. The Warriors are in good shape. I think they're going to get by the Rockets, I think. You got Steph Curry and the Warriors, and that's a big brand there. So there's some interesting stories in the NBA playoffs. Now, I'm going to go about this to what happened last night. How interesting will the NBA be when LeBron James does call it quits? How interesting will the NBA be when Steph Curry calls it quits? He's a little bit younger than LeBron, might have some more mileage there. Not much. And I think about those two major players, major stars now for a long time, multi-NBA champions, and huge for the NBA. And I bring this up because the Lakers get bounced last night by the Wolves, and you love it. I mean, that's great. I'm not sad at all. I love it. But LeBron James was asked about it last night. How long are you going to play? This is the never-ending thing now because he's 40 years old. How long are you going to go? And people have debated that now the last 24 hours. Is it just one more year for sure? He's not going to be able to go much longer than this. And so I just thought, let's just put this into perspective now. Nice ratings, interesting matchups. Maybe that was the thing. Highest rated NBA first week in 25 years, playoffs. But what happens when those big names exit stage right? What happens when, and I'll say, LeBron's the biggest. I mean, by far. We've had LeBron forever. I mean, this is over 20 seasons. This guy's been here forever. And he's going to exit here, I think, rather quickly. And so let me just ask you that question of the day. That's something I thought about is we're kind of seeing the end here for LeBron James in this career. It's been remarkable. I mean, if you hate LeBron, you hate LeBron. You look at his career, it's been unbelievable. I mean, the guy has just been an unbelievable NBA player. And he's still pretty darn good. The Wolves kind of ran him down. He kind of got run into the ground in this series. How much will the NBA miss LeBron James? I'll throw in Steph Curry. Like these two guys coming to the end of their careers. Steph might have a little bit more left, but will there be other players stepping in? Because it ties to the team that played them last night, and you guys follow the Wolves. Everybody says Anthony Edwards he's the new guy. He's the guy. Anthony Edwards is the new guy that's going to take the NBA and keep going. And there's others. Maybe it's Wembanyama, but people don't say much about Jokic. I mean, I love Jokic. I think he's outstanding. But you don't say much about from a brand side, well, Jokic is the ticket in the NBA. You just don't. So, and I'm not convinced that Anthony Edwards, the Wolves fans think he's unbelievable, and I think he's great. Anthony Edwards is the real deal. You could see that. Is he the guy that takes the NBA, continues to make it star-driven, and he's the must-see guy? Because whether you like it or not, LeBron, and I guess you throw in Luka in that piece there, the Lakers were the ticket that people want to watch. The Warriors and Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond, they're a ticket people want to watch. And you'll just watch. If OKC makes it to the finals, they're the best team in the West. That's what everybody thinks. Let's say if OKC makes it to the finals and Cleveland makes it to the finals, you know what's going to happen, right? I'm a basketball fan, so I like it. I'll take basketball all day. You casual fans are going to go Oklahoma City and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the NBA Finals. It would be a disaster from a rating side. That's my guess here on May 1st. We'll see how this plays out. So meaning, it's not always easy to say, oh, if LeBron bags it, we're going to be fine. The NBA is fine. I don't like LeBron anyway. So the NBA is going to be fine. Let me ask you that question of the day, okay? You be honest here. How much will the NBA miss LeBron James? Maybe he has 1 year left. So he's bounced out of the playoffs. I think the ratings, we'll see. But I think they're going to take a hit even now with the Lakers getting beaten 5. I think they're going to take a little bit of a hit. I know about the other young players. I know about Wembanyama, Jokic, Booker, Anthony Edwards. I know about all these guys. I love watching all these guys. They're not LeBron James and the brand. So here's my other point to this. Everybody will say, the NFL survived without Tom Brady. If the NFL didn't have Patrick Mahomes, you'd see a gap there. We have like a superstar champion, Patrick Mahomes. He's a superstar from his play, and he's taken the Chiefs to another level. If you didn't have the Patrick Mahomes story, see, who is the next NBA Patrick Mahomes? I'm not buying it that it's Anthony Edwards based on the situation now. You couldn't walk down the street of South Dakota here in a town to say, who's Anthony Edwards? Just a random anybody. Oh, huh? LeBron James? Oh, I don't like LeBron. That might be what you hear sometimes. There may be some LeBron fans. That's the difference, right? Patrick Mahomes took the NFL after the Tom Brady scenario. Guess who took the NBA after the Michael Jordan scenario? Guess who it was? Whether you hate it, you might hate it. It was Kobe/LeBron. It was Kobe/LeBron. And you might say, oh, LeBron's been going that. Yeah, he's been going that long. I mean, LeBron has been going that long. There was that gap there. Kobe, Shaq. There was that still going. And LeBron took that thing, and there's nobody like him that I see that's going to be the face of the league. So just something to think about. Even the LeBron haters, you could say, who's going to be the next LeBron James for the NBA? 1 year left for LeBron. Is that it? Might have 1 year, and careful what you wish for. I can't wait for LeBron to be Out. I can't wait for him to be done. Let's see what you say on this. Text us on the text line if you would. Will the NBA miss LeBron James a lot or not really? New players will always step in. Michael Jordan left. I still think the NBA isn't quite over that. There was the Kobe, LeBron. They took it, huge stars, but a different era. And Tom Brady left. Patrick Mahomes to Josh Allen to Joe Burrow. I mean, the new age. I think those quarterbacks are bigger stars from where they're at because Mahomes has won so much. You can't point to anyone else that has won that much in the NBA. That's my read. So let's see here. And I knew it because people love hating LeBron. I mean, I get it. I'm not a super fan of LeBron James. I just understand his star power and his brand for the NBA is massive. If we got 1 year left, there's going to be a gap there. I don't think there's as big a stars in the NBA like LeBron James. I don't think it's close. 74% of you say the NBA won't miss LeBron James. New players are stepping in. I knew that would happen. 74% of you. 26% of you said the NBA will miss LeBron a lot. He is the face of the league. Listener text coming in. I'll miss Steph Curry even more when he retires. Yeah, and Steph, I'm going to throw him in the same type of category. He's not LeBron, but he's second. Am I missing anybody else? Face of the league. LeBron, Steph, who else? I think it's a steep drop-off from star power, name recognition, brand. It's LeBron, Steph Curry, longevity. It's a steep drop-off. Listener text coming in. There will be new players, maybe just not as popular yet. Yeah, that's what I mean. There are new players, but they're not LeBron James right now, and he went on a run pretty early as a young guy. Let's see. Listener text, LeBron who? You know, that guy that people talk about and watch all the time. Listener text, we all hate the best players in a sport, and then we miss them when they're gone. We will ask who is the next LeBron or the next Brady, but we will miss LeBron when he retires. Is that right? That's interesting. Good feedback there. 605-720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line. How much will the NBA miss LeBron? My contention today, it's not over yet, but LeBron gets bounced last night. I think he has a lot to do with ratings in playoff games. The Lakers brand is big, but LeBron's brand is huge. And now that the Lakers are out, look out. It'll be fine, but if it's OKC and Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals, woof. I'm fine with the games, woof on the ratings. So I think you're gonna miss LeBron James, the NBA, more than people realize. There's nobody taking that torch yet. Nobody's taken the torch yet. 74% of you said new players will step in. You won't miss LeBron. 26% of you say you're going to miss LeBron a lot, and the league will. That's my contention. We'll see. 1 year from now, what are we going to be talking about this May 1st, 2026? Is LeBron done? And then what happens to the next star class for the NBA? I don't think they're there yet. Speaking of not being there, this is interesting, and I'm going to go to our next guest. Adam Bach's going to join us, South Dakota State linebacker who got the invite to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll talk to the middle linebacker captain for the Jacks defense. But speaking of not being there, is this the right call? The Indiana Pacers front office met with Tyrese Halliburton's dad yesterday, and he's not going to go to any more of the games. So we had a listener that texted in yesterday. He said, you should ban him from the games. How do you feel now? How do you feel now? You got him banned. No, they didn't say he was banned, but they said Tyrese Halliburton's dad, John, who got onto the court, which I thought was out of control, and taunted Giannis. He's not going to attend the team's games for the foreseeable future, home games or road games. This was a decision made by the team's front office, and the dad has accepted the decision. I mean, what are you going to do? That's interesting. And here's what I'll say. I think it's only fair. If that was me, if that was you, we got onto the court and taunted a player. You wanted to go and taunt LeBron James last night after the Wolves beat him. You're gone. That's it. I mean, it's not you can't go, well, special treatment. I think most of the time in life, people get special treatment. But the Pacers have made the call. Tyrese Halliburton's dad, for the actions the other night, he's done for the foreseeable future. It was an interesting listener text that you got hit on that yesterday. He was early on that on the Nate Brown Show. He said, I wouldn't let him come to any more of the games. And the Pacers have decided that this afternoon. And so, yes, if it was me or if it was you and we went onto the court and taunted LeBron James, Giannis, whoever you want to say, we're done. I mean, they're not going to put up with that. It could have exploded into a bad situation, and it got close enough as it was. So you got to just say that's it. Bad deal. I mean, the Pacers getting set for the Cavaliers. Bad deal for the dad, but there's got to be some accountability there because we would have gotten hit for sure. Listener text 605-720-1067 on the Nate Brown Show. Listener text, it's really important for the NBA to have a face of the league. The issue for the NBA is, does the face of the league need to be an American or will it be a European? Well, and that's the thing. Who has a bigger brand? Who has a bigger name? I'm just putting an American up against a European. Anthony Edwards or Nikola Jokic? I think it's like a dead heat. And it's not, both of their brands aren't huge. Anthony's coming along. Anthony Edwards and Jokic are not in the same stratosphere as Steph and LeBron. I don't think so. One more on this. Steph was a huge deal about 10 years ago when he changed the game. Everybody wanted to be Steph. Then within the last 3 or 4 years, there's been a huge pushback on Steph. As far as LeBron, I quit liking him when he became a Laker. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could be the next big star. Well, I know Shai. I mean, he's a great, nice player. I think that's a great player to watch. But not in the same category as the real huge stars of the NBA. Just not yet. If Shai can win an NBA title with OKC here, maybe starts getting in the mainstream a little bit, but not close yet. The NBA doesn't have their next Patrick Mahomes. They don't have their next Kobe LeBron. They do not. Adam Bach is in next. Let's talk to him. South Dakota State linebacker. What a player. We were waiting for him. Is he going to get an undrafted free agent deal? He didn't, but he got invited to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minicamp. Let's talk about his experience and the road starting now. For Adam Bach next.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance for isolated rain showers tonight, otherwise clear skies. Lows dip down to about 38, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures reach up to 63 tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 40. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 49.
This Mother's Day, treat Mom to a brunch she'll never forget at the Box Elder Event Center. Sunday, May 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Enjoy favorites like prime rib, grilled salmon, French toast, a kids station, and endless desserts. Capture memories with our photo backdrop, stunning balloon arches, and sweet fluff organic cotton candy. And hero moms, active military, first responders, and teachers get in free. Reservations are required. Visit thebox.live before it's sold out.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Welcome back in. Glad to have you here. We're live on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show, streaming all the time on X. You can follow us at Nate Brown Show and watch us on Twitter/X. We'll go out to L.A. coming up next. AM 570 Los Angeles coming up. Kevin Figures on the Lakers going down to the Wolves. And then we'll get to Wolves side of it with Tom Schreier. Covers the Wolves as they win in 5 for ZoneCoverage.com from the Twin Cities. Got you covered tonight. Well, I'm excited about this. I think this guy was a great player. My brother was a D1 linebacker. This guy reminds me of him. You could just tell. Hard worker, strong as heck, smart, leader, consistent. Adam Bach, really good for South Dakota State. All-American, middle linebacker. He gets a rookie minicamp invite for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Adam Bach joins us on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Adam, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for the time. So let's go through this process here. Just to last week, I guess. You're hoping, okay, what opportunity am I going to get? You're hoping, how was that process for you? The offer didn't come through the draft or the free agent side, but you get your invite now. What was the waiting process like for you?
Yeah, no, the waiting process was definitely a little bit difficult. I mean, knowing that I probably would be either a late draft pick or, signing free agency. I wasn't, super glued to the phone or anything, but it eventually came later than, maybe I was hoping or expecting. And then, eventually got the invite to, compete at the Tampa Bay minicamp.
Okay, so you get your chance. That's all you want. I feel like you're a guy that, as a linebacker, you got to, I don't know, people doubt you. What do you say? Is there a little chip here for you? I mean, what do you want to prove?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it's been for me throughout my whole career. Maybe coming in, to SDSU with maybe a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. And then now, the opportunity to keep playing, maybe a little bit of chip on my shoulder. That's just kind of how it's been for me. So it's nothing new. I just try to stay, consistent as possible and, hopefully let my work, do the talking.
Your strength coach said your mindset is neutral, and he said that's the key for you. You're just ready with whatever comes your way. How I look at young athletes. There's ups and there's downs. There's huge emotional swings. How have you managed to be neutral?
Yeah, I mean, just taking it one day at a time. You're not gonna find great success overnight, and you're not gonna find failure overnight. It's the things that you do on a day in and day out basis. If you can just look at everything like one day at a time, you're gonna find that consistency. And I feel like that's been my greatest superpower throughout, my time in college is just, taking it one day at a time, always trying to improve. And, if you're stacking days, you're bound to come out on top.
Adam Bach, one of the captains, All-American, South Dakota State football linebackers with the program a long time, since 2019. One of the best players for the Jacks we've seen, getting a rookie minicamp invite to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so he's getting set for that. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. I want to ask you about the measurables. You did that stuff, the 40, the bench presses. You had some nice numbers. What's the reaction from the league, Adam? Have you heard from, hey, maybe a little undersized, maybe not this? What is the reaction that you want to prove, no, I can play?
Yeah, I mean, nothing that I've, anything that's been said directly, but I've always known I've maybe been a little bit undersized, just compared to, some of the backers that are in the league. But, yeah, I thought I put up some nice numbers, some comparable numbers, and I was pretty happy with my pro day performance. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping with the pro day numbers and everything, just show that I'm up there. I can compete with the best of the best.
I want to ask you, have they talked to you about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers mini camp? What are you expecting to happen here as you get set for this?
I don't have a whole lot of expectations as far as what exactly is going to go down, but I'm assuming it's just another opportunity to people to get a second look at you and be there in person and see kind of how you stack up against some of their guys that they've signed, drafted, whatnot. But yeah, that's just how I'm looking at it. Is just hopefully a chance for me for them to see how I play and how I work, and see if something comes out of that.
Adam Bach joining us, South Dakota State linebacker, Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie minicamp invite comes his way. Congrats to him. I think he deserves it, no doubt. I'm looking forward to this. Let me go to your South Dakota State career. I said you were there a long time. This is the transfer portal era, Adam. SDSU hasn't had a lot of problems with that outside of this coaching change, maybe this past spring here. Why did you stick through this program? Did it cross your mind to think about going somewhere else?
Honestly, no. I mean, we've had an unbelievable group of guys come through that building. The time that I've been there, and multiple guys, you'll hear stories about what they've been offered and the chance to play elsewhere. But the group of players that we had in the locker room was honestly special. And, every team can kind of say, like, oh, yeah, we got a special group of guys, but that was something else. The leadership we had with, years on years, the past 3-4 years was pretty awesome. And that's honestly the main reason why I think that all those guys were turning down money and staying and contributing to something that was bigger than themselves.
Yeah, we've talked to your quarterback, Mark Gronowski. We've talked to some guys, and South Dakota State didn't lose a lot of guys. There's no doubt. Adam Bach joining us tonight. What do you think sets you apart? What are you going to try and show Tampa Bay? What do you think sets you apart, Adam? You've been a great linebacker in college football. Why?
Yeah, it's just my consistency. It's a simple thing, but it's really hard to do. One thing that I've always gone by, being great is simple, but it's not easy. So I'm not necessarily trying to do anything extra going into this camp. It's just kind of do what I know I can do and work the way I've been working and hopefully that opens some eyes.
Adam Bach joining us tonight talking Jacks football and this opportunity with Tampa Bay now. I do want to get your read on Cam Miller. Hey, how about this? You guys played in high school. We know the story. Yeah. Cam gets drafted by the Raiders in the 6th round. Have you communicated with him?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him since the draft, but no, that's pretty awesome. I saw Tommy Malott get picked up, and then I walk outside, and I see on the TV Cam's name come across the screen. I was like, holy cow. That's pretty great for FCS football. But no, he's earned everything he's gotten, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
That's interesting. Cam Miller, NDSU, and Adam Bach, high school teammates. Adam's getting set for a Tampa Bay look. By the way, Garrett Greenfield, hey, O-lineman for the Jacks. He got picked up by the Buccaneers. You better have you talked to him at all?
Yeah, no, I reached out to him. He's actually going to be he's down there right now training, and it'll be nice to have a familiar face there for sure. You know, not just walking into completely unknown territory. So I'm glad that he's there, and will definitely be someone to lean on.
I appreciate talking to you, man. I think a lot of people are rooting for you to get a chance. You've got it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a rookie minicamp invite to Adam Bach, the great linebacker for the Jacks, on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Good luck to you, man. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I
appreciate your time talking about his career at South Dakota State. Strongest guy on the team, right there. Strongest guy on the team. Just a worker. Adam Bach. He's coming in about 6 feet, a little over 6 feet, 225. That's what I saw the number. 6 feet, 225. 40 times, about 4.5 is what it looked like on Pro Day. So look out. There's guys like that can be nice players. Guys like that can be nice players, whether a linebacker, maybe a special teamer. Keep your eye on Adam Bach. Kind of had that career where, I don't know. And then, he was really, really good. All-American and a leader for the Jacks, no doubt. One of the great players on the Jacks defense, which was so strong over the past few years. Good to have him on. He's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie mini camp. Coming up, Adam Bach tonight. Let's go with Kevin Figures, AM 570, Los Angeles. Lakers go down. Is it a disaster now? Luka Doncic, what do you do? LeBron, is there 1 year? Is that it? 1 year left? Kevin Figures from AM 570 Los Angeles on the way.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed to helping our neighbors and our communities. And because we're in the neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Steel, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know how to help. See acehardware.com for details.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Hey, golfers, have you experienced Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Spring is in the air, and so are the savings at Highmark Credit Union. Ready to hit the road this season? How about a new ride with a new car loan at unbeatable low rates for qualified borrowers? At Highmark Credit Union, you can drive away with low rates, flexible terms, and the freedom to make every trip to Highmark or on the road feel like a spring vacation. So, what are you waiting for? Spring into action today with a car loan from Highmark today. Visit highmarkfcu.com or stop by and see us. The road to savings starts here. We'll make it happen. Terms and conditions apply. Visit highmarkfcu.com for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show, live Fox Sports Radio. This song you're hearing in the background, this song was played after every victory for my high school football team. Were we cool back in the day? I mean, we were the real deal. We just started a tradition. So now you're going to hear it on the Nate Brown Show. That's what it is. The glory days. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is live every afternoon drive. Thanks for being a part of the program. Rob Kegron's coming in, our New York City guest host every Thursday. Rob had a great national show for many years on satellite radio, and he's in South Dakota now, so we get him on the Nate Brown Show every Thursday. Rob Kegron's coming in. Thursday Happy, our guest host next hour. Kevin Figures is on from Los Angeles. Oh, boy. Lakers go down to the Wolves. A lot of Wolves fans up here all of a sudden. I mean, I know you guys follow the Wolves, but they've been so bad. And last year they provided a glimpse, and you're like, I'm in. Now another one. Here come the Wolves. Can they get through the West? Well, beat the Lakers in 5. Kevin Figures says, watch the Lakers a long time. AM 570 LA, his station as well. Kevin, good to have you. How are you?
Nate, always a pleasure to be with you. How are you?
Doing good, man. So, did LA see this coming? Did you guys feel this one coming or not? It was a 3 seed out of the West, but I felt like it was just, you started watching this series going, they're not matching up well. Was this a slow death?
Yeah, nobody saw this coming. If anything, Nate, it was the opposite. A lot of people in these parts thought the Lakers would win in 5 or maybe 6 games. Mostly just because they thought the offense would just be too prolific. Yes, from a matchup standpoint, the Timberwolves have a lot of excellent athletes. They had the obvious size advantage. But a lot of people were looking at Luka and how well he played against Minnesota in the postseason last year. It's particularly playing Rudy Gobert off of the floor. They thought, yeah, Gobert will get his to a certain degree, but they'll abuse him so much in the pick and roll, he'll be unplayable when it matters most. And that just wasn't the case. Gobert, to his credit, held up a lot better this year. I also think, and it's not to make excuses, but it's true, Luka Doncic just wasn't in the greatest condition. You know, coming off of that injury from earlier this season when he was still in Dallas, when he came to the Lakers, he's had some really good games, but he also had games where he really struggled from the field. I don't think he ever really got his legs underneath him the entire time. I'm not making excuses. I feel like that's just one of the reasons. But ultimately, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, their big three, which people thought they had the massive advantage over Minnesota, just did not show itself well in this series. And instead, it was Jaden McDaniels and Julius Randle and their role players who ended up overtaking, really not only the Laker role players, but in some senses overshining their stars at times.
I know it's, looking back on it, hindsight here, but the Anthony Davis deal, he's had injuries too. We all know this. But was that deal the right deal?
1,000%. And I would do it every single time if I'm the Laker organization. Look, the Laker roster currently, and Rob Pelinka and J.J. Redick kind of brought it up today, and mostly Rob Pelinka, when you swing a trade like that mid-season and the roster is constructed a certain way, it can be really difficult to all of a sudden change course and play a different style to suit the new best player on your team. So the Lakers have deficiencies on their roster. They don't have a lot of top-level athletes, don't have much size, which they gave up when they traded Anthony Davis and Max Christie, one of their best rotation players on the perimeter. Excuse me. So they knew there were some holes. They thought that they would be able to get by enough on the offensive prowess of Luka Doncic combined with Austin Reeves and LeBron James, and it just wasn't able to happen. But ultimately you make that trade 1,000 times out of 1,000. Luka Doncic is a generational player. You saw that he can make a run to the NBA Finals when he has a roster that is constructed around his talent. Now the Lakers have an offseason to see if they can put the requisite talent around him to maximize his best attributes and minimize his weaknesses. That's the task that Rob Pelinka is going to have this offseason.
Kevin Figures joining us, AM 570 Los Angeles, Fox Sports Radio, talking Lakers. So it sounds like you're all in on Luka, Kevin. It sounds like you're all in on him, meaning he's not slow. He's not so bad on defense you are worried about it. So you're all in on Luka here.
Yes. So, one, he is slow, and he is bad on defense, especially if you look at how the game started yesterday, Nate. I mean, whoever Luka was guarding, whether it was Julius Randle or anybody else, they gave the ball to that person and got out of the way. And it was a turnstile the first 5-7 possessions, whatever it was of the game. But, again, he's such a dynamic player, again, when healthy, when motivated. And I do think the trade in and of itself is going to motivate him in the offseason. It's really hard to make any changes physically, conditioning-wise, any of that mid-season. Once he has an offseason to get himself healthy, I do think being traded from Dallas, basically under the idea that you're not in shape and you're not committed to working hard, I think that's going to motivate him to do that. So I expect to really see the fruits of this start to blossom this coming season, while this current season, yes, Laker fans are disappointed that they were eliminated in the first round. I kind of feel like they were playing with house money to a certain degree with Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves as the core right now, because the rest of the roster just had so many holes that needed to be filled and just couldn't be filled in the middle of the season. So I'm bullish on Luka. He's only 26. He's going to be motivated by being traded away. And we've all seen what he can do when he's at the top of his game. He's one of the top 5 players, if not top 3 players, in the entire NBA, and that's despite the fact that he's a sieve on defense.
Okay, Kevin Figures on tonight from Los Angeles, AM 570 LA. I have a question of the day because LeBron's coming to the end here. I mean, he's coming to the end. I don't know if it's 1 year left. I don't know, but where are we at May 1st, 2026 next year? We'll see where the Lakers are in the postseason. Let's say, is this the last year for LeBron? And here's my question of the day. People love to hate LeBron, and then people love LeBron. My question is, how much does the NBA miss LeBron when he calls it quits?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, the way I always look at it, like people say, like, what's the NBA going to do once Jordan leaves? Or what's the NBA going to do once Kobe leaves? There's always going to be that answer. Now, the interesting thing about the NBA now, Nate, your better players, or at least many of your better players, are foreign athletes. They don't necessarily have a lot of charisma. You know, whether it's Jokic, whether it's Luka Doncic, those sorts of players. Now, Anthony Edwards, who, by the way, did not have a great offensive series overall, and the team still won, which tells you how much better Minnesota just was as a team than the Lakers. He's even explicitly said, Anthony Edwards, he doesn't want to be the face of the NBA. Although a lot of times you don't choose that, it chooses you. So, now whether or not, he's not LeBron James quite yet, but who knows what happens the rest of this postseason run. He could end up turning into that. But to answer your question, somebody always steps to the plate, whoever that is. Who that's going to be, I don't know. I believe in my heart of hearts it's going to end up being Anthony Edwards. He's going to be the next face of the league as an American player, a dynamic player who's not even reached his ceiling or reached his prime quite yet. I think, especially if Minnesota makes another couple of deep runs here in the postseason the next few years, he's the guy that I think can end up taking that mantle from LeBron James. So will the NBA miss it? Yes, to a degree. But in the grand scheme, no, because this happens all the time. Guys cycle in and out. It's going to happen.
See, my read on it, Kevin, is I don't think anybody's at that level that Kobe was when he took the mantle from Jordan / LeBron started to as well early as a high schooler. I don't think anybody's at that level now. Patrick Mahomes took it from Brady, a huge star, winning all the time. I don't see it. Anthony Edwards hasn't won enough. Jokic has won, but he's, like I said, he's not a big brand. So I don't know. I think the NBA is going to miss LeBron way more than people think. I'll put Steph Curry in there, too, when he bags it here in a few years.
Yeah, those are the big two, LeBron and Steph. Once those two guys are ushered out, then we'll kind of take a look at where the NBA is. And look, LeBron James, even when he became the face of the league, I mean, he even hadn't won quite yet. I mean, he was an emerging player with Cleveland, made it to the finals against San Antonio, got swept. Excuse me, that's kind of when he made his ascension.
Yeah.
He didn't start winning until he got to Miami. But by then, I think it'd be hard to argue whether or not he was the face of the league, or at least one of the 2-3 faces of the league, even though he hadn't won quite yet. So it's going to take Anthony Edwards making a couple of deep runs. You know, they can't end up losing in the second round this year and then losing the first round or second round next year. He's going to have to end up taking that step forward eventually, which I believe that he will, because I think he's that kind of a player. So ultimately, we'll see how it ends up landing, Nate, but I think Anthony Edwards is going to be that next guy in line.
Very interesting. Last one for Kevin Figures. J.J. Redick played the guys the whole second half the other game. The whole second half. I don't know if I've seen that. And then he got pretty upset about questioning. JJ's, how edgy is it? How's the L.A. media handling it?
JJ's prickly, and you kind of know what to expect to a certain degree. He's obviously extremely intelligent, knows basketball. He's one of those guys, if your listeners have heard the term of, doesn't suffer fools. So if somebody asks him a question that he thinks is for lack of a better term, a dumb question, he has no problem telling you that, even if he doesn't say it explicitly, the way that he answers it. Now, the interesting thing about how he answered that question before last night's game about the rotations, I think it's kind of bred out of insecurity. He knows that he's a first-year head coach with no coaching experience, and he knows that we all know that. So he's looking for any sort of slight to say, like, oh, you don't think I know what I'm doing? And it's like, well, it's very questionable. If you're going to be the head coach of an NBA franchise, be prepared to take questions like that. Now, I think the question could have been asked differently, a little bit more articulately, but it still makes sense to say it is very odd for a coach to play the same five guys for 24 straight minutes in a postseason game. And when it doesn't end up working, you're going to have to face incoming for that and be able to face the heat from the media. So I do think J.J. Redick could have answered it differently. I didn't have an issue, generally speaking, Nate, with his answer outside of the very first line of saying, you think because I'm inexperienced I don't know what I'm doing? Because all that does is just tell people how insecure you actually are. And then he's still growing as a coach. Again, it's his first year. He's never been in this capacity before. But I still think it was a good hire. He's a good coach throughout the entire season. The players respected him. It's just a learning experience for him. And he's learning at the highest level possible, one, in the NBA, and two, one of the more popular franchises in all of sports, the Lakers.
Kevin Figures on tonight from L.A., hitting us up, AM 570, Fox Sports Radio. Kevin, always appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
No problem, Nate. Thank you, man. Take care.
Appreciate it. Kevin Figures on South Dakota Sports Talk Show from AM 570, Los Angeles. They cover the Lakers. Lakers go down to the Wolves. Everybody's happy. Although we have some Laker fans on the text line. Just a few. But the Wolves, they celebrate. It was a big celebration. That's fine. You beat LeBron, Luka, the Lakers, so it's a big celebration. Now the Wolves have to take a couple more steps. Can they? Can the Wolves take the next step here? The West is loaded up. Let's go to a high school sports question of the day. We got into some debate on this yesterday. So Class A and Class B schools don't want to do the Sodak 16, these games in volleyball and basketball, to go to the state tournament. They don't want to do them at the highest seeds home gyms. So AA, they do it with the highest seed. So you have Sioux Falls Roosevelt hosting Rapid City Central. So Central has to make the long trip to Sioux Falls for one game, one night. The Class A and B schools say, We don't want to do it that way. Find neutral sites, Chamberlain, Phillip, wherever. And so I just have a question. Why do the Class A and B schools continue to vote no hosting at the higher seeds for these games to go to the state tournament? We want the neutral site games. They voted on this in basketball, volleyball this year. Why do they continue to say we want to go to a neutral site for both teams? My question of the day will react next.
This is the Nate
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
Sports Rapid City Forecast. Slight chance for isolated rain showers tonight, otherwise clear skies. Lows dip down to about 38, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures reach up to 63 tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 40. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 49.
Eating in Deadwood has so many options thanks to Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Wake up with the trusted taste of Starbucks or sit down to a full breakfast at Best Brews. Looking for lunch? Build a wonderfully fresh sandwich from Jersey Mike's. Grab some quick and cheesy goodness from Pizza Hut or pull up a chair in Patty O'Neill's Irish Pub. Need something a little more intimate for dinner? Well, Snitches is all the buzz with an evolving menu of chef-designed culinary creations. There's something for everyone to eat at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, located on historic Main Street in Deadwood.
Looks like winter is losing its grip and we are headed for warmer weather to come. How did your car make it through the winter? Hi, this is Martin from Al's D&I Repair. Winter is hard on your car, especially on the components underneath. The sand and chemicals that make winter driving safer can affect the brakes, chassis, and exhaust parts. While you have your car in for routine maintenance, we'll inspect your car to make sure you are set for spring and summer travels.
Al's D&I Repair on Sturgis Road. Call 348-1447 to set up your appointment.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
This is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. You found us on Fox Sports Radio. Thanks for listening every afternoon drive on the radio side across South Dakota, The Nate Brown Show. Also stream us online. A couple of ways. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. That's our channel. You can subscribe to the channel. We're live each afternoon there. And the archive shows if you missed some of the shows this week. We had Adam Bach on tonight. It was a good discussion with the South Dakota State linebacker. Great player for the Jacks in his career. gets a Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie minicamp invite. So talk to him about this process coming up. Wish him the best. Adam Bach was on tonight. Go to the Nate Brown Show YouTube channel. Subscribe. You've got every show right there. Thursday happy hour is on tap here in this next hour, so hang on. Rob Kegron's coming in. A lot to discuss with Rob tonight, as per usual. Rob Kegron's coming in. Thursday happy hour on tap. Let's go to a high school sports topic really quick. Something that developed yesterday when I was talking to Dave Hollenbeck, longtime St. Thomas More boys basketball coach, and he's played in these SODAC 16 games. These are the one game to go to the state tournaments. So these Class A and B schools, they play out their regions, then they make it to the final SODAC 16. And so if you win that one, you go to the State A or State B tournament. The SODAC 16 games are played at neutral sites across the state because the Class A and B schools want it that way. So they have to find these schools that want to host these games. A lot of times in the middle of South Dakota, they try and find a happy medium meeting point. Sometimes it works okay. Sometimes one team has to travel further. I mean, it's kind of a headache for the administrators. That's what I've been told. But Dave Hollenbeck, St. Thomas More coach, said he doesn't like it. He said he's played in these games. It's not a good atmosphere. A lot of times the fans aren't traveling because it's a Tuesday night or something like that. So the fans for your team aren't traveling. And then the high school that is hosting it has no ties to the schools half the time. So those fans aren't interested. So I just have this question of the day. Why do you think the A and B schools here in South Dakota continue to vote that we don't want high seeds hosting these games? So if you have the higher seed, you've had a better record, better power points, you should get to host the games like AA does it. So nobody really whines about Harrisburg hosting Rapid City Stevens. So Stevens has to make the trip out to Harrisburg and play the one game. And nobody really whines about it. It's like, hey, Harrisburg had the higher seed. They get to host. That's it. But Class A and B, they continue to vote this way. Basketball, they brought it up. Should we have a higher seed? They said no before. This last one, they tried it in volleyball. Should we do this high seed hosting instead of the neutral gyms across the state? Class A and B schools voted it down again. So they want to keep the neutral sites. My question is, why do you think that is? There's two things I think that jump out. I haven't talked to a lot of the ADs on this, but there's got to be two things here. One is both, the teams don't want to have to travel so far. If you're the lower seed, they don't want to have to go from Vermilion out to Hot Springs. So they don't want to go from Vermilion to Hot Springs on a weeknight and get home at, whatever time. So I think that's valid. It's valid, but AA does it. AA does play the one game, the long travel, the whole thing. Class A, I just think the travel, they say, let's meet in the middle. That helps both teams get back at midnight instead of 2 a.m. or whatever. So I think that's the travel for the road team. They're like, if I have a team that's a lower seed, we got to travel that far. That's bad news. So I'm just going to vote this down. That's what I think. That's one, unfair travel for the road team. The other one is, I think some people think it's a more fair site instead of a home gym. I get the home court advantage, my home fans. So you combine those two things, the long travel, then it's a home game instead of a neutral site. Well, a neutral floor, that makes it feel more like a tournament thing where I don't have to win at somebody's home floor. I don't know if that's, the game breaker, but I think those are the two big things. What do you think is the real reason? Instead of higher seeds hosting in Class A and B for volleyball and basketball, why do you think they want to keep going to the neutral sites? Boy, this is a tight vote on our Twitter poll right now. A tight vote. 51% of you say it's the unfair long travel for the road teams. They say that's why they want to do the neutral sites. 49% of you say it's a fairer game at a neutral gym, not the home floor. So I think it's both. And that's interesting, you splitting the vote. Listener text 605-720-1067, probably so towns like Puckwana can take great pride in hosting a Sodax 16 game. That could be. I love Puckwana. Listener text, why are the issues with the A and B schools? They don't want to do 6-man football. They don't want to do less 9-man teams. The state should start forcing the schools to do these things. Oh boy. Well, I'll leave that one there. Thanks for sending in the text. 605-720-1067 on the text line. Let's come back with Tom Schreier. He covers the Timberwolves, now taking down the Lakers. Can the Wolves take big steps in the West? And is Anthony Edwards really the next big star in the NBA? Really? Tom Schreier, ZoneCoverage.com, covers the Wolves from the Twin Cities on the way.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
Jackpot. Just be actively playing your favorite slot machine with your club card engaged for your chance to win. The Roaring Riches Jackpot starts at $7,500 and must hit by $10,000. Plus, you can keep up to the minute on the current Roaring Riches total on your Cadillac Jack's mobile app. Roaring Riches has already paid out $2 million. Anyone at any time on any spin. You could be the next to win. Only at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail. Well, time to see how your car will weather the winter.
That it is. Let's make sure your vehicle is
certified shop. I know you guys are well equipped to do just that.
Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle.
And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there?
Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. Call us with any questions on this program, or you can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button.
What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people.
Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASE certified automotive repair specialist. See AnytimeAnytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
One more time.
We are into the second hour on the Nate Brown Show, Thursday edition. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Yes, sir. Thanks for being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. What's happening in the second hour? Happy hour with our guest host, Rob Kagron. Great host, and Rob comes in every Thursday. Shoot it around. Thursday, happy hour on tap. Rob Kagron on his way in. Let's go to the Twin Cities first. Talking Wolves, maybe a little Wild. Twins? We'll see. It's covered by these guys all over the place. ZoneCoverage.com. Tom Schreier from ZoneCoverage.com as the Wolves beat the Lakers in 5. Tom, how are you?
I'm good. I was saying it's crazy time of year, but it is fun when Minnesota can upset the world.
I like it. So I know people are like, okay, the Lakers are going to beat the Wolves. Well, then I'm watching the series and I go, no, the Wolves are going to beat the Lakers. It sure seemed that way kind of early on. What do you think of the Wolves taking down L.A.? I know Luka wasn't the same. I don't know, maybe not the same L.A. team, but how impressed were you?
Yeah, I mean, impressed. I think, obviously, I watch the Wolves all the time, and our writing staff does, so we're looking at the analytics, and it's, again, you do a double take, and you're like, the Lakers aren't as good as, kind of we thought. You think of the name brand. You think of Luka and what he did to the Wolves and just what he's meant to the league, and it's really hard to judge a team like that with that dramatic trade, right? And not only that, but the Wolves revamped, trading Cat, trying to kind of figure out things throughout the year. So it's a little hard to judge. Having said that, I think people who watch the Wolves throughout the year, as frustrating as this season was in the regular season, was like, this is a pretty good team. It's starting to come together maybe at the right time. And also the Lakers may be overrated. We know a lot of people gamble on the Lakers. It's going to influence the line. A lot of people talk about the Lakers. So ESPN, all their panelists believe that the Lakers would win. So I think maybe there was a little bit of less of a shock factor, but, once they win there, weather the storm in Game 2, and then once we kind of saw it with our eyes here in Minnesota, it seemed like, hey, they could close it out even in L.A.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Tom Schreier joining us, covers the Wolves, ZoneCoverage.com. So is everybody in Minnesota happy yet with Rudy Gobert? I mean, do we like Rudy yet?
I think the thing is, I keep oscillating on it. The first year, I said, man, this guy punched Kyle Anderson, and it's devastation at the end of the year. And just I really like that old core. I think a lot of people in Minnesota like the Beverly core, and I think looking back on it, that was not sustainable. They did upgrade. People kind of fell in love with him until the Dallas series, and then they're like, hey, what happened there? And they can't guard the guards on that team. And then, even early this year, it was like, hey, they don't really have assets. They can't change the roster much more after trading Cat, right? So I think a lot of people have gone back and forth. There's people who are just out on Rudy. And I think there's people that really appreciate him for his defense because he's such a unique player. But I think right now, as it stands, obviously after 27 and 24, I can't even spit out the number because it doesn't seem real. But 27, 24, and what he meant to that team. I mean, it's hard to be mad at him now, and you see him as that defensive anchor who offers offensive upside in the right matchup.
I'll tell you what, Anthony Edwards didn't have a great series. I mean, he didn't. And Rudy Gobert had a huge night last night, and the Lakers didn't have an answer at all with no center, or they didn't play a center like Hayes or anything. So Wolves take care of it. Anthony Edwards now. I've asked this question. LeBron's got maybe 1 year left. I don't know what's going to happen. Probably 1 year. People keep saying Anthony can be the next NBA face. I don't think that's the case now. He's got to do something in the playoffs. You got to get there like LeBron did when he was a Cavalier, when he got beat by the Spurs back in the day. I think Anthony could. Do you?
Yeah, I think he could. It's such an interesting conversation because with most young players, that's all they want, right? I want to be the face of the league. I want to be kind of the logo at a certain place of time. I think for him, it's genuine when he says, I just want to go kill dudes. Like, I just want to have fun. I want to dunk on guys, and he's starting to shoot really well from three. And obviously he wants to be a champion. I think he's really driven, and I think he really lives for these big moments, the brightest lights, right? I just think there's the potential for hopefully multiple stars, but kind of a horde of Anthony Edwards fans, meaning obviously it's going to be here. They're hoping, people here are hoping he's kind of the next KG, what KG was to basketball fans in Minnesota. They're hoping that, he is the guy who can bring a championship to Minnesota. But I think he can bring in people who have no connection to Minnesota, no connection really to the Timberwolves, maybe even younger people who don't really remember KG with the Timberwolves. So I think he can build kind of this horde of fans. I think it's people who like someone who's kind of unleashed, who really, we know what the fines that he's gotten and kind of the way he acts. whatever's in his head, it comes out his mouth. And I think that is fun. I enjoy covering it. I've talked to him personally. I think he's really funny, and I think he's kind of got that megawatt star power. I don't think he's for everybody. But in terms of what he has to do on the basketball court, I mean, yes, you have to put this team into contention, right? And I think this is the first time the Wolves have advanced in back-to-back years, right? They only had that one run with KG to the Western Conference Finals, ironically losing to the Lakers. So if he can transform a franchise like that, I think he can kind of have that megawatt power. In terms of being a sole face of the league, I don't know. Like, I think that really only comes with a championship.
I'm with you on that. I am. I don't think anybody in the NBA is really ready yet to take the torch from LeBron/Steph when he bags it in a couple or few years. Okay, the Wolves in the West. The West is loaded up here. How much do you like their chances? They still got a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, the way I've seen it all along is that they could beat any team in the West. They do it 3 times, right? Could you beat 3 of those teams? Now I'm looking at, obviously we don't know if it's Houston, Golden State. Like, I think with Houston, the question is actually, that is a team really well coached, has some star power, but not a true 2-star, and they just aren't as experienced. I think, can the Wolves win when they're expected to win? We saw, like, they were great as an underdog in the first 2 rounds last year, and then they were favored against Dallas, fell apart, and they've even verbalized this, like, hey, we have some trouble when we're expected to win. You saw it in the regular season. Now they're adjusting, obviously, Randall, DiVincenzo, losing Cat. But there were games that you shouldn't lose to the Wizards, to Portland, to Milwaukee without their stars. There was a collapse late against Milwaukee. Like, they lost games, crucial games, because every game was crucial in the West, against teams they should beat. So that's kind of the challenge there against Golden State. How did their perimeter guys knock down guys who are proven, right? Curry, and then obviously kind of this Jimmy Butler narrative of this guy who left here on not great terms and is a superstar still. So that's a proven team, well coached, probably would be an underdog. And then, looking forward at just how do you match up against Oklahoma City with the big record, but also kind of young team, or if it's a Denver or a Clippers that advance. I mean, this is kind of the West now. The Wolves right in the mix there. Obviously dropped some unfortunate games, but I really think they can beat anyone. It's more, can you string those 3 together?
It's going to be fun to watch. This Wolves team is fun to watch. The West is going to be really, really good. Last one for Tom Schreier, ZoneCoverage.com. Can the Wild stay alive tonight?
I think they can. I mean, I think, Vegas is a better team. You're just kind of handcuffed, obviously, with the salary cap constraints. And they just are really well designed. A lot of star power in Vegas. Really, really large players have kind of given the Wild fits at times. Having said that, they brought it to the brink. We thought Hartman had it here, right? The win, right? Like a minute left or whatever. Have gone into overtime a couple times. I think with in that circumstance, however, I don't even know if they get back to that, right? Putting the game on the brink, it took an effort from Boldy. I mean, that was a superstar effort. We saw in overtime, obviously, that team peter out a little bit because they're leaning so much on that top line. So if you can get there, anyone can win it, right? If you can get to overtime, you get to one-score game. I just wonder at some point, given that the series continues to get extended, if Vegas, who I believe is the better team, I do think they win it. But it's hockey, man. Anything can happen, and I think it's been a fun team, even with kind of the handcuffs and the salary cap constraints.
Tom Schreier popping on from the Twin Cities tonight. Best coverage there. It's ZoneCoverage.com. The team does a good job covering the Minnesota sports scene. Tom, good to have you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Tom Schreier on ZoneCoverage.com, live from Minneapolis. Popping right now. Wolves take care of the Lakers. Wild trying to stay alive against Vegas tonight. Down 2-3. Thursday happy hour ready to go. Let's get it. Rob Kegron live in studio. A lot to discuss in our happy hour. Starts next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big money now on pre-finished siding at Menards. Update and beautify your home with your choice of 13 timeless colors of pre-finished LP Smart Side engineered siding. It's durable and includes a Sherwin-Williams machine-applied paint warranty that means no painting for years to come. Save big money today on all LP Smart Side products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust.
local. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance for isolated rain showers tonight, otherwise clear skies. Lows dip down to about 38, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures reach up to 63 tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 40. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 49.
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True. And you only find it at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Manholt Rushmore Honda.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, it is Thursday Happy Hour. Welcome in. It is the Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board. Thanks for making this show possible. We appreciate it. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live every afternoon drive on Fox Sports Radio. What's Thursday Happy Hour? It's when Rob Kegron comes in and just screws around. I mean, that's what makes it good, right? I mean, we put work into this thing. Let's not mess around tonight. It's brought to you by the Skybox Derby Party this weekend at the Skybox. Kentucky Derby. You like the Derby. Have you been to the Derby?
I've not. And I grew up about 3 blocks from a racetrack, from a horse racetrack in New York City, and about 18 minutes from Belmont Racetrack, where they have the Belmont Stakes every year. So I went to horse race. I remember as a child going to the track and watching horses. Never been to the Derby. It is absolutely on my bucket list of things to do.
I'm with you on that. I'm a horse racing guy. I've went to 2 horse races, Del Mar in California, and all that stuff.
I've been to Santa Anita too. That's beautiful.
Very nice.
Del Mar is spectacularly beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice, but I haven't been to the Derby either, so maybe that's the thing.
Yeah.
Rob Kegron and Nate Brown live at the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
That might be dangerous.
Lose a couple $1,000.
That might be a little dangerous. Derby Party at the Skybox. What is the Skybox? Rapid City's premier sports bar. It's the best place, no doubt. They have the Derby on. They have the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. They've got it. It's all there. Twins games, you want it? It's at the Skybox downtown, right above the Firehouse, Main Street, Rapid City Sports headquarters. Okay, I'm going to start with this. I mean, 1 week ago, this goes by fast in life. 1 week ago, I was telling you the Giants were going to make a mistake. It turns out I'm right. I mean, it's amazing. I'm not right very often. I knew they were going to do it, and they pass up Shedeur Sanders. And then I didn't think they'd be that dumb, but they decided to trade back into the first round and go with Jackson Dart. People say the next Josh Allen. Good luck with that. So I'm going to tell you, Jackson Dart, and then the Shedeur story went crazy from there.
Yep.
Did your Giants make the right call here? Give me your read here.
Okay, first of all, I think they made the right call at number 3. Okay, and I think you would be crazy to say on the air on your own show that they made a mistake not taking Shedeur at 3 when you could have had him at pick 144.
Well, we
okay?
didn't know you could have him at 144. So I said last week they were going to make a mistake not taking him at 3. I still believe it.
You still believe that's a mistake? Not taking what everybody says is a sure thing in Abdul Carter.
A sure thing for what? For what? Watching Abdul get, 6 sacks in a season? Good luck.
I mean, why do we think he's only going to get 6 sacks? I mean, the guy was a hell of a college player, and there seems to be a consensus that him and Travis Hunter were the 2 best players in the draft by far.
Oh, by far. I haven't heard Abdul compared to Travis, but...
those are the 2 guys that seem to be as can't miss guys. Is it a guarantee? Of course not.
He's the next Lawrence Taylor. He wanted his jersey. Maybe you should give it to him.
No, LT said no. I like that LT said no, actually. Go forge your own reputation. I'm all for that. I think you had to do something safe there at 3. And Shedeur, what we've learned, is not a safe pick. You love him. It's you and Mel Kiper who should be hanging out every week together. I mean, because I never heard 2 people in love with a quarterback that no one else seems to love other than you 2 guys.
That's great. I was loving Mel, and then I saw the reaction to Mel, and I thought, wow, did Mel listen to the Nate Brown show over the past week? I mean, we're 2 the same.
You are cut from the same cloth. There's no doubt about it. I think they didn't make a mistake at 3. I think you can argue going back into the first round to go after a quarterback who is a project, essentially. You're going to have to develop him. He's not a guy who's going to start week 1, right? I think you can make the argument that Shedeur, with his experience, has a possibility of winning the job in Cleveland and starting week 1. I think you could make that argument, right? Okay. In terms of his experience. There is something to be said for all of these teams passing on him, Nate. There is something seriously wrong with this guy.
Well, no, we know the story.
What do you mean, no?
We know the story. He made mistakes.
Yeah.
Deion made mistakes. They didn't handle it correctly.
Right.
Now, a successful organization, they reflect. Any successful person or organization, you reflect, what did we do wrong? Let's handle things right now, which they did on the stupid prank phone call, which they did on the celebration, getting drafted in the 5th round. They didn't pout. So they're turning the page, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. Maybe that's just what he needed. They're going to reflect here. They made mistakes, but Shedeur got treated much differently than everyone else. Much differently.
In what way did he get treated differently? He's being evaluated for a job. This is one of the greatest job interviews in our country, to be a quarterback for an NFL team. And by all accounts, Nate, he did not do himself any favors by the way he went into those meetings.
Well, it's kind of like hiring an engineer. An engineer, you need the best of the best. And if the guy can't look up at you in the eyes, he's going to fail the interview. He's struggling. But I still want him to make the bridges. I still want the best of the best. So if you mess up an interview, he messed it up. But I want the guy. I want the competitor. He's 2nd in the country in TDs. Jackson Dart, you're going to hang your hat on him. You're going to be hanging your hat on a loser.
You're comparing. You just love knocking these guys. You are comparing an engineer who may not look up at you in an interview.
Yes.
To the face of your franchise, the quarterback of an NFL team.
Who was cocky, who came off bad in the interview.
Not just cocky, unprepared, didn't take it seriously. Very strong accounts, particularly from my Giants, where Dable basically said, I will not draft this guy.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Because character and attitude matter, particularly when it comes to your quarterback. Think about all of the... you just talked about Josh Allen. You think Josh Allen walked in to all those meetings when he was trying to get drafted a handful of years ago?
I love Josh.
Like that? No.
He's a character. He's a leader. Here's the thing,
You think Jaden Daniels last year walked into all those meetings unprepared? I remember watching him on that goofy Hard Knocks thing in the offseason with the Giants, and Dable's peppering him with questions, talking about all kinds of other stuff. Then he jumps back to a play and gets him to recite it again. That guy was as engaged as a quarterback as I've seen. So this is a problem with one guy.
So you take him, you take him all the way down. I mean, you guys messed that up. The 5th round, this is absurd. For his talent level, you got to go there. Why? Because he doesn't have any character flaws off the field. He doesn't have any crimes. Is he a guy that's gotten in trouble? He's got a 3.9 GPA. Deion has great character. He's making these guys accountable. I want the guy. I don't want... he's cocky. He made mistakes, but no crimes, no bad stuff. He's a good guy.
And I'm not saying he's a bad guy, and I don't think he should be judged by a couple of bad interviews either. But I also think there's something to be said that there are a lot of people who don't think his talent translates on that level in the NFL game.
Yeah, not enough that said, hey, we'll overlook this, especially you got Dable, who's crusty. I mean, he's angry and he's crusty. And so he's not going to go with a guy like that. He's going to go with Jackson Dart and risk his career on this Jackson Dart who couldn't beat Florida. He couldn't even beat Florida.
Well, here's the thing with Dable and Shane taking Dart. You take Abdul Carter, right? You can disagree with me all you want. I think you're going to see someone who has an immediate impact on the game. Why? You put him and Brian Burns and Thibodeau and, oh, by the way, all-pro defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, who's in the middle. Lions can't stop them all, right? These guys are going to get to the quarterback. So they're going to be competitive in games with your favorite quarterback in the league, Russ. Danger Russ, right?
I'm rooting for Russ.
And he's going to start week 1. Dable already said that. Do I think they're going to be great? No, definitely not. Are they going to be competitive? Yes. Are we going to see something halfway through the season with Dart getting a chance? Yes.
Oh,
all
really?
you need to
Really?
Yes, absolutely. That's our MO. We did the same thing with Eli. Remember, Kurt Warner was benched for Eli when we were 5-4 that year. I remember it vividly. People were like, well, why would we bench a guy who has a winning record? They're going to want to see what's happening with this guy. If he just shows enough potential to where you think you have something, they're going to give Dable and Shane more time.
I can picture this, and you know this. Jackson Dart's not going to be a real NFL QB. I mean,
how do you know that?
Just watch him against Florida. He had as many interceptions as he did touchdowns. Just watch him. You can't. This Jackson Dart isn't going to be the guy. He might not even got selected in the second round last year.
What were Allen's stats in Wyoming? He didn't throw a lot of interceptions.
He was pretty good.
He didn't make a lot of goofy decisions.
And he's big and he's athletic. Jackson Dart wishes he was like that.
I'm not going to be the number one fan of Jackson Dart. I can't. I've watched plenty of his games for sure, but I can't say that I know if the guy is going to be a big time NFL quarterback or not. My point to you is you don't know either. To me, it is the least exact science of anything in the world, trying to figure out which of these guys is going to be great and which of them is going to be a bust. I can't figure it out to save my... Yeah, once in a while, I think we could come to a consensus. Peyton Manning, right? We watched Peyton Manning in college. We knew he was going to be a great NFL quarterback.
You knew who Jackson Dart's going to be? Everyone said, oh, maybe Josh Allen. He's mobile. He's this. Are you crazy? This is Zach Wilson.
I hope not, because that's a travesty and a disaster.
That's who it is. And you just traded back in to get him, and I hope you enjoy Lawrence Taylor, number 2, Abdul Carter coming in. By the way, so you say they made the right call. That was the question today. Made the right call.
They made the call that they needed to make. I think it is the right call. They made the right call of getting Dart instead of Shedeur. That I do believe, absolutely.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. All right. I was wondering if you'd come to your senses on that. By the way, you haven't. Listener text, I'm prepared to make a bet with Rob that his New York Giants will have a worse season than the Cleveland Browns.
I'll take the bet. You name it. Whoever that is, name it. Okay. Have we looked at the Cleveland Browns quarterback room? Who do we have?
You got Shedeur.
Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, the guy with the ACL injury, Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I'll take your bet, sir. Absolutely.
Really?
I'll take your bet. But I think the Giants are going to be, 7-10, 8-9, somewhere around that. Just under 500, showing signs headed in the right direction. I mean, look at our draft. We drafted some, Scatterbo. You telling me you don't like Cam Scatterbo running in the backfield?
Oh, I love it. I just love it. By the way, how long is it going to take Brian Daboll to start yelling at Russell? How long? He's a crabby guy.
2 games.
That's what I was going to say. We thought Sean Payton was mean to Russ. Get ready. It's going to be Brian doing the same thing. Listener text here. Mitch Trubisky was great in interviews, remember, guys? But stunk it up. Give Sanders a break. Well, that's why I said he's been treated differently. Because of Dion, the circus, we want to go here, we're going to go there. That was a mistake. I admit, mistakes. Too cocky, we're going to run the show. NFL taught him a lesson. They made a mistake. Teams should have taken him before the 5th round, no doubt. No crimes, no bad character. 3.9 GPA, second in the nation in TDs, first in completion percentage, third in yards. You like those stats? Pretty good.
Sure. But if you're convinced that a guy is the real deal and he could be your franchise quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years, you would have put up with all that crap that you just described. The problem is they don't think he's that, Nate.
Okay.
It's not just about the attitude. It's they don't think he's that generational talent that you think he is.
I hope Kevin Stefanski gives him a chance because they drafted Dylan Gabriel for some reason. Nice move.
That was lunacy. Why draft both of these guys? I mean, how many we going to keep? We're going to keep 4 quarterbacks in the room, guys?
I hope they give him a chance because they didn't look too happy when the owner, I think, said, let's take Shedeur, right?
Yep.
I hope they give him a chance. I hope it's not like Sean Payton and Russell Wilson where he didn't give him a chance. Brian Daboll's going to give Russ a chance, and Rob Kagron's going to give Jackson Dart a chance to come in and start. You said midway through the year.
Yeah, I think if you're not if somehow we are 6-3, no, you're not letting Dart start. But if we're 4-5, I think it's time to start seeing if you got something.
This is going to be a heck of a football season with Rob Kagron. I didn't know the New York Giants would be so interesting, and they're going to be. Thursday Happy Hour with Rob Kagron, brought to you by the Skybox downtown Rapid City. Let's go to this. LeBron James gets knocked out last night by the Wolves. I love to see it. I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm not a lover. But will we miss him if he calls it quits after one more year? That's next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club. Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
The all-new Mr. Liquor 2 announces their first ever Tacos and Tequila Festival. On Saturday, May 3rd, kick off Cinco de Mayo weekend with 6 food trucks on site and serving right on the outside patio. Slip inside the campfire grill and grab a margarita, and bring it along as you enjoy free samples of various tequilas throughout the store. It'll be a party you can't miss. The first ever Tacos and Tequila Fest, Saturday, May 3rd at the new Mr. Liquor 2, off Catron next to Walmart in Rapid City.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
And 200, 2 and a quarter, 2 to the bid, 20 bomb, 50, money, get 250 here, 75, 275, now 3.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson Auction Company. We can turn your property to cash. We can sell your personal property and your real estate at auction. A family business for 64 years and counting. We've sold several millions of dollars in property over the years. We're happy to consult with you on your auction plans. Let our selling experience work for you. Call McPherson Auction, 605-348-1369. Visit us on our web at McPhersonAuction.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Hey, welcome back in. Thursday Happy Hour brought to you by the Skybox, Rapid City's #1 place for sports and Firehouse Craft Beers, burgers, nachos, whatever you want there. They've got it. The Skybox, and they've got live sports, the best place to watch the games. Right above the Firehouse downtown, Main Street. Listener text coming in, 605-720-1067. How you text the show. Rob Kegron's in studio here, so be aware. You're also texting Rob here tonight. Talking about the NBA and the Lakers, the listener says, I think the Lakers should trade for Zion, and then they can call Luka and Zion Chubby and Tubby. Oh, my goodness. My goodness.
That's rough.
Careful now. Luka looked a little slow. He's banged up. He looked a little slow. LeBron played not very good. Wolves take down the Lakers. I brought this up today, Rob, and I threw it out there to the audience in the question of the day. LeBron James takes a lot of fire, right? He takes a lot of fire. You love LeBron or people don't like him. I've come to a sense that on this show, more people don't like LeBron than like him. May not be surprised by that. But his brand is huge. He's the face of the NBA. Him and Steph Curry. Is there anybody close to right now? Name recognition, brand, success, the whole thing. It's LeBron 1, Steph 2. Is there anybody close to be the next face of the NBA?
I think Jokic is close.
He's a nice player. He's not.
If you're talking about
there.
Appeal, like star appeal, if you're talking about like trying to sell products, okay, no. But in terms of eyeballs to the set, yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, because he's a big man who can do everything and shoot from the outside.
Well, I love him. You know, I love Jokic. I tried telling you he's one of the all-time great players, and you still didn't think so. But
he's growing on me.
He's not LeBron. I'm just talking brand, face of the NBA. Jokic has won a title, but he's also not out there.
Sure,
he's not that popular.
If that's the criteria, then you're probably right. There's no one close. I think he'd be a couple of years away, and I'm not sure that he'll ever have this appeal, but Anthony Edwards, I think, would be on that trajectory.
Okay, but he's got to win.
Yeah, he's a few years away from ever being like that. You know, SGA is one of the most interesting players that there is right now, but I don't think he'll ever have that kind of appeal.
Okay, he's not there either. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. We had a listener text in and say, he's a great player. He's the next guy. My point of this is I started the show with it. Michael Jordan, when he headed out, and that crew of folks, Magic, Larry, there was Jordan. There was Kobe who stepped in quickly. Then even LeBron right after that. So there wasn't a gap. It was like those. It took over. Those guys were the face. Patrick Mahomes for Tom Brady was already winning, and if we didn't have Patrick Mahomes, you'd be, well, you got Josh Allen. Yeah, I get it, but it's Mahomes. NBA, will they miss LeBron? He is the ticket. I think people are going to miss LeBron. I don't think they'll admit it.
You know, I do disagree with you on this one. I think
people
won't
miss him.
No, I don't, because I think what's the issue I have with your argument, and I think you make a good one in terms of that. You know, Larry and Magic pass it off to Michael. Michael passed it off to Kobe. Kobe to LeBron. Okay, makes all sense. The difference now, Nate, is there are so many incredible NBA player, big stars. Who was anywhere even near Jordan? Who was near Jordan's level when he was there? None. I can't think of anyone. None.
Well,
not a
Charles
single.
Barkley.
Nah.
Yeah, people like that.
But, I mean, Barkley wasn't even close to the kind of basketball player that Michael was, right? You can make the same argument around Kobe's time, I think. They just wasn't those kind of stars. Now, if you look, think about how many really great basketball players there are now. And not just that, they're from all over the world. They have an appeal that a lot of those other generations didn't have. I mean, you think about who are the best players in the NBA right now. LeBron is up there still for sure, but it's Steph for sure, Jokic, Doncic, Giannis. Right. I just named 3 guys who are not from this country.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
SGA scores the last 3 years in a row has scored more than 30 points a game on average. Right. I think I think it will change. Right. In the sense that there won't be the one guy, the one great, truly transcendent talent. But I think you're going to be replaced by a lot of interesting guys that you want to watch play each other.
That's your take.
Yeah.
I don't think it's this guy is that. Somebody's got to be the face of the league because LeBron and Steph have been the last, I'd say, 10 years.
And we'd argue that Steph probably would do at least another 3 or 4 years, probably,
somewhere in
right?
There.
Okay, so that gives a guy like Anthony Edwards a little time to develop and maybe become that guy.
And people think it might be him.
Might be him.
He's Jordan-esque, Jordan-esque style. 73% of the audience voting on Twitter. How much will the NBA miss LeBron when he decides to retire? He might only play one more year. 73% say, meh, new players will step in.
Because I think
we just don't like LeBron. That's what that.
A lot of it is that. There's a lot of LeBron hate. I respect LeBron as a tremendous athletic specimen and as one of the all-time great NBA players. As you know, I've never been a fan. I'm still not a fan. And I think...
But you'll miss him. You'll miss him. You know why? Here's the thing people don't say. I want to root against him, too. That's a factor.
100%, Nate. And when you have... a guy, think about Tom Brady, right?
Yes.
And he played for so long. Wasn't it great to root against and watch Brady be miserable when he would lose?
Yes.
Obviously, as a New York Giants fan, I watched it twice, and I loved. And so you wanted those opportunities to beat the best. So, yes, I agree, miss in that sense. I just think the NBA is moving in a different direction with a proliferation of all of these great stars, and we might have a vacuum for a little while of having that one great one, but we're going to have a bunch that will draw eyeballs.
Well, here's how I'll say. Caitlin Clark left college basketball. Women's college basketball got some nice ratings this year. It fell off.
Yeah.
LeBron James leaving the NBA, even right now getting bounced by the Wolves last night. The NBA ratings have been high this first couple of weeks. LeBron getting beat out, the Lakers getting beat out, that's not going to help. If you get OKC and Cleveland in the finals, good night.
Yeah, no doubt. You're 100% right. Not having LeBron, not having your biggest stars when the season is ending always hurts, right? LeBron in a final, right? If him and Doncic could have ever made it, LeBron in a final against Cleveland, it would have been incredible.
Yes.
I mean, the ratings would have been through the roof, right? Boston, I think, for the most part, too. But him playing against this old team that he won a championship for would have been amazing. So, yeah, in that sense, they will miss that star power that brings rating. I get that.
And
I just think it's going
to after a year.
Probably one more year.
LeBron playing anymore? I think people aren't going to be... Luka's not the draw of LeBron James.
No doubt about it. I completely agree.
And even Jokic from the branding side. Let's see here. 73%, though, say meh when LeBron retires. 70, I mean, unbelievable. All right, maybe you kind of think that, too.
He's played a long time and hasn't won anywhere near as much as he should have. Let's be fair.
You're not going to miss him.
I'm not going to miss him. I'm not going to miss him. I think there's a lot of...
Have fun watching SGA and...
SGA's not fun to watch.
He's fine, but
the guy's a heck of a shooter, and he's great down the stretch of a game. He's clutch.
This is LeBron James. Maybe this is top 3 all time.
I would agree with that statement. He is top 3 of all time.
All right.
Wish he would have won a little more, but okay.
We're on target. By the way, really quick here, I want to go to this other story. Tyrese Halliburton's dad. I started my show with this yesterday, and I said this is the epitome of our sports culture, of fans acting this way all the way when their kids are young. They act this way. I really believe this. I think it's a bigger picture of sports society. A dad runs onto the floor. Could you imagine James Jordan going out and doing that to Magic Johnson, to Larry Bird? We would never dream of it.
Never.
Irvin Johnson Sr. going out to Isaiah Thomas and doing that, you wouldn't dream of it. So how did this happen? Was that a big deal?
A huge deal. It's insane that they're not... How that man is not banned from any NBA arena for the rest of the playoffs is beyond me. Because I'll tell you this right now.
He's not going anymore. They just said that today.
Well, but he did not ban. They basically told him don't come.
Right.
That's not the message to be sent. Right. That's trying to cover this up. Right. The message to be sent is we don't tolerate it. If Nate Brown went to the Nuggets game and you had courtside seats, because I was generous enough to buy them for you, okay? And you go out there after Denver wins and go up to one of the opponent's players, you would be banned for life, Nate.
Yes.
For life.
Yes.
You would never be allowed in an NBA arena again.
So.
How that man is allowed to be in any arena, I would say
it's the dad
I don't
of the
care.
player. It's the dad of a player.
Shouldn't he be held to an even higher standard than you and me then? The father of an athlete who's on that court?
No, they get special
treatment. And they won
treatment.
the game.
You know that. They get special treatment.
Which
They're going
is
to treat him.
When you talk about this systemic problem, I agree with you. But the systemic problem is also coddling these guys and their entourages around them and let them get away with anything.
That is why.
No.
That's why stuff like that happens.
You are banned for the rest of the NBA playoffs. And then we'll think about it next year.
Why didn't James Jordan get down to the floor and do that to Isaiah Thomas? Why didn't Irvin Johnson Sr. do that to Dennis Rodman, whoever that they battled? Why didn't that happen?
Because they were respectful. They had a level of class. They had a level of decorum. And they also didn't want to make it about themselves when it was about their kids who played so well.
Yeah,
and Halliburton can score.
I like Halliburton.
Yeah. And you took that away from your son, who had this incredible opportunity, wins this series against Milwaukee, and you've somehow made it about yourself.
Yeah, it was wild. So Tyrese Halliburton's dad not going to any more games for the foreseeable future.
It should be banned. The NBA should send a message. We are not going to tolerate this
just
crap.
For the rest of this. I mean, you can't.
I wouldn't say forever.
So
I would say for the rest of the NBA playoffs.
I think you said for foreseeable future. So we'll see if they hold to it. That was a bad deal. I'm telling you that. Let's get to this next. We'll end with it. Jay Billis talked about NIL in college sports. You know how all the programs are getting all this money. He said it's going to be better for college sports in this way. Next.
This is the Nate Brown.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus, enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
Treat Mom to a brunch she'll never forget at the Box Elder Event Center. Sunday, May 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Enjoy favorites like prime rib, grilled salmon, French toast, a kids station, and endless desserts. Capture memories with our photo backdrop, stunning balloon arches, and sweet fluff organic cotton candy. And Hero Moms, active military, first responders, and teachers get in free. Reservations are required. Visit thebox.live before it's sold out.
Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is here when you need us for the extreme athletes or those everyday activities. From kiddos with broken bones to retirees with creaky knees. Whether you're pumping iron or planting petunias, we'll be in our clinic locations throughout the region working together. Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, getting you moving again so you can confidently say, I'm back. Go to monument.health/orthopedics to find out more.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in. Good stuff from you guys tonight. Thanks for being a part of the program. Happy hour every Thursday with Rob Tegron in studio. Fun to have him. Skybox is the place for sports. Craft beers from the Firehouse, great food, and all the games are on. And the Kentucky Derby party this weekend. It's going to be great. Skybox right above the Firehouse downtown, Rapid City, our headquarters for sports. Listener text coming in saying that, I said Sean Payton didn't give Russell Wilson a true chance in Denver. He didn't give him a chance. He never liked him. Wasted some time there. Russell had a great last year for him, but listener text coming in said, Sean Payton didn't give Russell a chance. I must have missed that. He sure took a lot of sacks for not getting an opportunity. Oof. Kind of trying to hit me there.
Wow.
I remember when he pulled him at the end of the season when we were doing fine, and he pulled him. They asked him to sit down after we beat the Chiefs in Denver. They wanted him to sit down. Hey, take it easy. We want to redo your contract. It was a raw deal, but that's neither here nor there. I just had to say that. By the way, Jay Billis came on here, and we'll wrap up with this. Jay Billis, college sports guy, college basketball guy, said he thinks name, image, and likeness money, Rob, has provided more balance. So other programs can have money, not just the powerhouse programs. So he said before it was just scholarships. Kansas would get all the guys because you want to go to the best brand, the best school. Now you've got money at other schools. He said, so maybe they'll get some of these guys that maybe would have went to Kansas, but now are going to go to Wichita State. Do you buy that?
I do not at all. I absolutely disagree.
Don't either.
Did we watch the last tournament? I mean, it was blue bloods. Blue bloods followed by more blue bloods, right?
And number one seeds, boom, to the Final Four.
I mean, we got 4 number one seeds, Jay. I mean, guys, this is what it's going to be now, right? The mid-majors are done. There are no more Cinderellas. And those teams in big conferences that are a little bit down on the totem pole, they're not going to get those guys, right? They're going to... These guys will constantly transfer back and forth between all these big schools.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Texas just released yesterday the Longhorns football program, $35 to $40 million. This is from the Houston Chronicle. $35 to $40 million, the new payment for next year's football team. That would almost double Ohio State's title team from this last year.
Wow. I mean, that is a tremendous amount of money.
But we're going to spread the wealth around.
No. Who else has 35 or 40 million sitting around to give to their players? Only the biggest schools.
That's a good payday. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. Happy hour every Thursday. It's always great. Rob Tegron in studio. Watch sports where we watch it at the Skybox downtown, right above the Firehouse on Main Street. Kentucky Derby this weekend. We're back for more. We might not talk Giants next Thursday. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening. The podcast going up now.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed